Hey everybody, happy post-Love Day, and we have some live action breaking video story for you right here at Occupy Democrats, because Donald Trump certainly has said many absurd things in his political career over the last 11 and a half years or so. But let's be honest, this statement right here is probably one of the biggest jokes in the history of a man who is, by definition, a joke. This.
As we begin a proud new chapter in the chronicles of American justice, this really is something. We're turning the page on 4 long years of corruption, weaponization, and we're restoring fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law.
But if you keep up with the bald-faced lies all the time when it comes to the legal system and the judicial branch, and even your sycophantic DOJ, it does catch up with you like this.
I don't know. What do you think of this?
I think it's one more example where Donald Trump is using the Justice Department as his private playground. But in the end, this is really part of the pattern, right? He prosecutes his so-called enemies against the advice of career prosecutors.
But of course, denying Donald will always try to pretend, no, it's not really a vendetta agenda. I'm just doing self-righteous indignation here.
But you are the president now, and I'm asking the justification for going after people you don't like.
People that I think are dishonest. It's not that I don't even know most of them.
These people made you angry.
It's not anger. These are people that I think are very dishonest. I don't think they're worthy of being able to go into top secret information. I think that's fine. But when you look at it, these are people that I don't think are worthy. That's my decision. It's not a question of anger.
And still, Pam Blondie Bondi just keeps failing.
For a second time in a week, a federal grand jury in Virginia has refused to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James for alleged mortgage fraud.
And failing.
This indictment was fatally flawed because of the role of Halligan. Now, what that means with respect to James Comey is the case is over.
And former GOP magnate Joe Walsh just screams the truth from the top of his lungs.
This is a president who thinks he's above the law. To your point, Pam Bondi's not the Attorney General of the United States. Pam Bondi is Donald Trump's personal lawyer. Period. And anybody in that Justice Department who doesn't want to represent Donald Trump instead of the Constitution and the law, they're gone. They've already left.
But in this breaking story, after the train wreck that Pam Bondi just was with the House Judiciary Committee, the reality is when you continue to cry wolf by trying to indict everyone and the grand jury keeps turning you down, which actually doesn't ever happen, and you get called out by not only a former senator, but also a former state attorney general who's been down this road, you actually start having your people around you kind of turn their back and start running away. Check out what just got said this morning by Christie right here.
Well, I want to put a couple things in perspective. Having done the job of U.S. Attorney for 7 years, in 7 years that I was U.S. Attorney in New Jersey, and we were the 3rd most productive district out of 93 in the country during those 7 years. So we brought a lot of cases.
A grand jury, Mark Kelly, they tried to get criminal charges against him for the video, a reminder, the video where they lawmakers reminded veterans or active duty military, rather, that they do not have to follow illegal orders. That was it. That was the video. And they don't have to follow illegal orders. What's your reaction to that? They tried to get the grand jury to indict. Grand juries almost always indict. They didn't this time.
We never once, not once in 7 years, were no-billed by a grand jury. Not once. So to try, people
overwhelming majority are always
no,
because the prosecution just
unanimity. We never got no-billed, right? So why is that? False idea that grand juries, you can indict a ham sandwich. It's not true, and the Trump administration is proving that. They're putting a bunch of ham sandwiches up there, and the grand juries are not indicting them. The fact is that the previous Justice Departments, before this one, took very seriously bringing charges to a grand jury and asking to indict a fellow American. And what you're seeing now is absolutely the destruction of the credibility of the Justice Department with our judicial system. Judges are not giving the benefit of the doubt anymore to assistant U.S. attorneys, and worse yet, with the public. And so the damage that gets done here by this just pure vendetta prosecution is long-term and is going to be very, very difficult to fix over the course of the next decade.
You see, we're on the outside. We're John Q. Citizen just trying to watch this from afar. But people not only in D.C., but people in the legal profession across this country, state attorney generals in all 50 states, and the people that surround them, and the staffers that surround them, they all know what they see every day. They know what cases are brought. They know how often and how rare it is for a grand jury case to be brought and the grand jury doesn't indict because of the standards and practices that they know they have to meet. And Donald Trump, because he's arrogant, the mango muppet, he doesn't care. And yet, every single time he loses, and it's getting regular now, it puts a dent in all of his armor he thinks he has about being able to walk down the street and shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue without losing a vote. No, what he's losing is the support around him. And when the Congress, Senate, and the House fall away from backing him, stick a fork in him, he'll be done. You guys enjoy your Sunday. Like and share the video, and stay frosty.